Top of the evening to you, brothers. What it do is popping. It's the undeniable, the reliable, the one and only Trigger Trey Knight, and I'm in your city.
And this your boy Blackout Jones, the historian. Hey man, we ready for tonight. Hey, y'all gonna love what we bringing to the city.
Hey.
Yeah, I can't damn. And this is your boy, Mr. 211. And always remember, as Wu-Tang said, protect your neck.
I thought you was gonna say you was for the children, bro. Dog, never mind.
No.
And y'all already know who it is. It's been a while since I did it, so I'm about to spit that real. It's your boy Carlito the Cannon.
The Cannon.
Bow. One half of the double dose of knowledge, 1/4 of the illustrious iconic, 66 2/3 of the Carolina Wrestling Cartel, and you listening to Beyond the Bell
podcast.
in your city. Y'all stupid. Y'all got me doing that dumb. Stop it. Stop it.
That's peer pressure. You just gave in the peer pressure. You see, I ain't doing it.
What it do, fellas? What do we do? We got a lot of breaking news. We got a
lot of breaking news. We got a lot of recap. We got a lot of continuing news. It's a lot right now.
It's a lot because we top dollar.
Who hotter? Not nada.
And this,
so
and this
I don't know if he realized that's a double negative though. Saying who's hotter and then saying not nada, that means a lot.
And this past week, the governor of Colorado, he declared a state of emergency. But we'll get to that, at another time.
Breaking news.
Jade Cargill is WWE. So we got to figure out something to say. You know how when they go to AEW, they're all elite. What are they when they go to WWE?
All Performance Center.
She is NXT.
Possibly. She has come out and said that she is okay with going to NXT. I love the idea, but how long could you legitimately keep her down there? Like you can't
solo run.
3-month run.
3 months. So
maybe
so
less.
now to the Rumble.
Probably yes.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Should be the entry. That'll be her main roster debut.
But that's the crazy thing because if she debuts,
you can have her jump from Raw, NXT, SmackDown. She has appearances on each show. Maybe
I would be okay with that if they hadn't already rolled out the red carpet, put out the Star Spangled Banner, hit her with the tour bus like the Lex Express. Like this is the biggest superstar debut and like rollout since I think Hogan in WCW. Like I know Ronda had a big one, but I don't know if Ron. And that's the thing, Ron. I don't know if you were old enough to remember when Hogan went to WCW, riding down Disney Boulevard in the red and yellow Viper, confetti everywhere, live band. Minus the confetti in the band, I feel like that was the same thing. Like we have not seen a superstar come in to the company and get this level of press release and treatment.
It is up there with Hogan. I think the thing with Hogan was we never thought that he would leave WWF at the time and go to another organization, period.
And shoot. And then with Jade is getting the ESP. She got the ESPN report release.
And that's not even all, bro. So, usually when we're looking at stuff, the numbers matter. When Cena came back, we all rushed to see how many views on YouTube. Jade got 150,000 likes across all WWE social media platforms in less than 24 hours. And I mean the official. They're not counting the extra, no, official. It is the highest benchmark of any superstar this year, period. Cody, Brock, Roman, anybody. She has surpassed everybody on the official WWE social media platforms for mentions in a 24-hour period. And the crazy thing is, we're in a about to go into another week, and it still has not slowed down. Like she is still the trending topic.
And I think
everybody wants to see it.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because everybody wants to see what she's gonna bring to the E. Like, don't get me wrong. Like even. Like her haters are talking on X. Like everybody sees it. They trash talking her, but that's expected. We understood that was gonna come. They did it to Cody. But we understand, like, no matter where she's going, she's gonna have eyes on her from everybody in the wrestling world.
So the issue with Jade coming now is AEW doesn't have casual fans.
No.
So the fans that are there either love or hate her. There's no in between. It is what it is. But now, with the rollout of Jade and the casual fans of WWE, we can't wait to see her on Beyond. The Shade Room posted her going.
Oh, exactly.
Like, it's that major.
When the Shade Room posted something about majorly
anything about wrestling. The casuals are already clamoring for the Bianca match. It's not time.
Nah.
She's not ready, and Bianca's still on a hiatus right now, and there's no point in rushing her back for this program. This ain't the program to rush her back for. You build it up.
You got to get Bianca and Charlotte.
You still got to get Bianca and Charlotte. And even with Jade, there are a couple of interesting matchups down in NXT. Wow. You got Tiffany Stratton. If she stays, you got that match. Lyra Valkyria, you got that match.
That'll be a good one.
I'd love to see her and Blair Davenport. That's the match I want to see, because I feel like Blair is one of those women superstars that could guide Jade through the paces. Yeah. Give her everything she needs for the NXT style of wrestling. Because that's the thing the casual fans aren't realizing. Yeah, Jade can come to the main roster right now, but AEW in-ring is not the same as WWE in-ring.
And NXT in-ring is completely different. It's completely
different.
It can be slow, it can be fast, and it can be indie style as well, but you don't get that many spots. It's literally the storytelling of the match.
They have a style in NXT that you have to unlearn when you go to the main roster. Yes. Ricochet slowed down his entire moveset when he went to the main roster. Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor. There's a lot of people that have come from the developmental that have to slow down that style that they're used to wrestling, because the main roster style of wrestling, and understand, we're not saying that you have to completely wrestle differently on the main roster. You're on the road 304, 305 days out of the year.
Live events.
You have a bump counter, as Bobby Roode will tell you, and that's one of the things, that's one of those phrases that, we smartened up to. You can't go full throw. You can't Russell Westbrook 300 days a year hitting that plywood. Like, that's just not. It's not.
And then on top of that, we are investing in you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't want you to do, hey, it was cool on the indie scene because you was only wrestling maybe once a week, once a month. You know what I'm saying? Extra. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Your body can take that because you're not putting all that mileage on there. I do want to go back to Jade. I think one of the reasons why she has, all those likes and I mean, everything is, pretty much astronomical, because she is the first actual AEW star to go to the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, it also tells us that people have been watching her.
Yes.
They've been watching her. They've been watching her, her, I guess you could say her maturation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In the year, in at least 2-3 years now, that's been in AEW. So that lets us know that people have been, they've been checking her out, you know what I mean? And now that she's coming to the E, it's like, okay, we've been waiting for this. We just didn't know when it was going to happen. Now that it's happening, everybody, not everybody, but majority of the people, they're loving it. Even myself, as much as of me being, AEW fan, I didn't like the fact that she didn't get the chance to wrestle, Britt Baker. You know what I mean? She didn't get the chance to fight Jamie Hayter. You know what I'm saying? It was like you never
didn't even get
that opportunity.
She didn't even get a Nyla Rose match. Like,
you didn't get a Nyla Rose, you didn't give her that opportunity. Where, and to me, if I was her, I'd be like, well, shoot, you keep me over here wrestling mediocres. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need to go somewhere else. And, I have no problem with that. I applaud
that,
her.
I think. Yeah, she touched on that a little bit too.
She did.
In her interviews. And I think it revealed to her exactly what she needed to do, because not only for her brand and her business, she understands she's gonna be away a little bit more, but the exposure, like, that's where you come. You come to Tinseltown for the exposure, for the development, and she even said it, like, there is no other place.
She called it the big stage. Like, she's already she's already understanding where she is and what she's doing, and that's the thing about it. You run the risk though of is there going to be too much hype for her debut?
I don't
with
think
the way the rollout is now. If she let's just say she skips NXT and goes main roster.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's humongous.
It's humongous, and the question is can she live up to the hype?
Depends on who she goes up against, because you have to, like, if it's gonna pop the right way, if they're gonna set this up, and they already said they already got plans for her, it already should have been talks. If she knew she was leaving and she couldn't physically do nothing or get in the ring with somebody who she about to go up against,
I hope she's been trained running the ropes, taking flat bumps,
having that communication with whoever she's going up against, because now they have to learn each other in ring. They have to sit there and coordinate with each other and make sure that what they present is on top.
Who's a good first opponent for her? Like, that's the crazy thing, because we can throw out a couple of names, but who is a good first opponent for her? Not named
nobody
Natalia,
major. Yeah.
Not named Natalia. That
I don't want her to be in squash matches. I don't want to see squash.
I don't want the Braun Strowman Goldberg treatment.
No.
It's already done. She's already done. It's already happened.
Yeah.
So I think who can give her a good match if they came back. Well, I wouldn't say a good match, but decent enough to showcase her, like David Goliath type joint. Probably Liv Morgan. Liv can probably give her a good run around in the ring. And
Nikki Cross.
She'll look good. She'll look good against Liv.
Nikki Cross.
Nikki's style would work really well with Jade because Nikki's a brawler.
Yeah.
And Jade's gonna. But see, that's also the question. We're fantasy booking right now, but we don't even know is she coming in heel or face. We don't know this is one of those times where it's exciting because we genuinely don't know anything about what she's going to be doing. Like when Hogan came in, he was a face. When Cody came back to WWE, he was like, we knew, but we don't know.
But they left as a face. She's leaving as a heel.
So did Cody leave as a face?
I think Cody left as a heel, but he
was still
he was a heel to us, but he just wouldn't call himself a heel. You know what I mean?
So he was just getting.
No, he was playing that teasing game. You remember that, where they had the separate entrances,
which I hate that they got rid of. It was another thing that differentiated them from. I hate that they got rid of that. Like anything that separates them from the E and from any other organization, I'm all for it. I hate they got rid of the separate entrances.
That's the case. They were TNA then.
Well, so you know the difference. But see, the only difference with TNA is the entrances were across the way. Like they were on opposite.
They had the opposite end.
That way.
Yeah. The heels came out this way. The faces came out this which was also another beautiful thing. I love that too, though.
But everybody has fascination with LED screens and big and seeing visuals.
And everybody, and I don't know, it's weird because I'd love to see what the budget is for it. Like, is it cheaper to do that production wise? Because that's literally the only reason I can think of that. Like every show.
If you got one big LED screen and two that you can put out in front, I think that's a lot cheaper than curating. You got to make sure. I mean, you got to worry about one LED going out and messing up the whole board, but then you got to worry about
them spots where you throw them into the stage, and then it's just, I'm like, that. Why would you even do that? Because now it's ugly for the rest of the show.
They just busted all the pieces like Bobby Lashley did that one time.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then it was hanging and I hate those spots.
I mean, it's not aesthetically pleasing, but
it's not aesthetically pleasing. Ricky Starks retweeted Jade going and posted a picture of them and said he was proud. Is that a teaser? Is Ricky coming?
I think down the line.
What?
I think down the line he's got to go. Because I'm going to be honest with you.
He's done what he could do.
Like we said last episode, Ricky's done everything he can do in AEW minus winning the international championship. But other than that, there's nothing left for him. You got Jay White being elevated to the main title card picture now. MJF is still there. Adam Cole, when he finishes healing, is gonna be there. Moxley is always there.
Plain clothes Cole.
we'll talk about that in a second. You know, Adam Day-to-Day Cole. Ricky Starks coming would be amazing. I definitely would want him at NXT just to give them that star power. That's the one thing that NXT is. That's why bringing down Becky was great, because it gave them their star. Like, don't get me wrong, Melo is a superstar. He's in the making. But NXT has been missing a star since Ciampa and Gargano left. When they left, it was like, okay, Braun, Tony D, Grayson Watt, but Becky. If Ricky Starks comes, Ricky Starks automatically becomes that superstar male talent in NXT, and I would absolutely love to have that again.
I mean, so do I would say, for like Black, do you think that they know what to do with Ricky Starks now at AEW? Do they think they're kind of like just pulling for straws, or is just like, you know, it is what it is?
I hope losing Jade wakes them up. Like that, I mean,
do they look at it like that though?
Do they look at it as they lost Jade? And if they do so, and that's the one thing I want to touch on. Because I keep seeing it on X. Oh, you know, AEW dropped the ball on Jade. No, they didn't. Because if AEW dropped the ball on Jade, ESPN wouldn't be covering her going to the E.
Right.
Jade's a star. Jade, she's a star. But I look at it in terms of how we talk about NBA talent. There's only a couple of superstars in the NBA. You got LeBron, you got Kevin Durant, you got Steph Curry, Giannis,
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum's an all-star. That's the thing. But see, those are the tiers. When I say superstar, Embiid's an all-star. Embiid is not, until Embiid winning this MVP gives him another but Embiid after the trust the process period. And all the moves that they've made to try and make Philly a winner, he's got to win a ring to become a superstar.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
Pushing the pillar forward. Like,
you know what I mean? Like a pillar of the organization.
Like, to me, Jokic just surpassed him on that.
Jokic is a superstar now.
Yeah.
Jokic has a ring, a finals MVP, and two regular season MVPs. Like, he's a superstar. I'm gonna tell you who was. Well, you know what? No, and that's what. But Tatum is on. He's fringe.
He's on that.
He has a finals appearance. He just doesn't have a ring yet.
Yeah.
Ja Morant, fringe superstar. See, the thing that separates Ja from a lot of the other all stars that are right there at superstardom,
he has
that aura. He has that aura about him that, like, you can tell if he stays out of trouble, he's the next face of the league.
Oh,
they wanted it to be Zion. It's not going to happen. Ja's the next guy that has the swagger, that has the game, that has that. I'm going to watch him for 82 games. He has it. He's just got to. He's not here yet with it.
Yeah, he's giving me Greg Oden vibes.
Yep. But that's the thing about with Ricky. Ricky is right now. Ricky is an all-star.
Yeah,
he's an all-star. He's on the cusp. But we know they're not going to give him the championship and a finals MVP.
We need more.
He has to leave. He has to pull a Damian Lillard, and he's got to ride out. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks for pulling off.
Breaking news.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo is my favorite player in the league after Kobe retired. That's my guy. I've been a Giannis fan, and if you don't believe me, follow me on Facebook at DeAndre Luttrell, and I'll share the post from me posting in 2016 saying that Giannis was going to win a ring. Like, I've always followed this guy.
Spoiler alert.
This is, you know what? Let's talk about it. The Bucks or Jade? Is there going to be too much hype? Because with this Milwaukee move, if you don't make it to at least the Eastern Conference Finals, it was for naught this season.
But it's always hype. To me, it's always going to be hype because, shoot, we can say that about the whole Phoenix team. Bradley Beal going to Phoenix. KD, Bradley Beal, and
Devin Booker.
Yes and no. And the only reason I'm throwing that no there is because KD hasn't played over 60 games since 2018.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
But even then, the hype for KD,
so that's the thing. There's no hype.
They didn't
even make it. They didn't even make it to the Western Conference Finals last year.
I know, but I'm saying with the addition of Bradley Beal, the hype is there from the league. But I'm saying for you particularly, I know it's not going to come for you because you.
No, not me. I'm just the circles I talk in. I have not heard anybody say anything about Phoenix. Nobody's worried about Phoenix because the bench depth they lost to.
They lost a lot of it. Yeah,
they lost a lot. They lost a lot in the KD trade. They still don't have a point guard. People are saying Devin Booker is going to be the point guard.
He's not a point guard.
Not the move. He's not a point guard.
And if
getting Nurkic helps, but if it was Ayton and them three, there was really no hype. Not in the Western Conference, because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of those years where the Nuggets could repeat.
Yeah,
they could.
Because I mean, no major off-season signings really happened.
Nothing huge happened except for this trade.
Yeah, for that trade, as far as for blow up, but as far as depth, I think the Lakers did a pretty decent job with retaining.
Lakers did a really good job retooling. This is the first time since the '90s that we only have 2 players over 30 on the roster. It's been 30 years since we've had only 2 players over 30 on the roster. So this is a new. I know people say it new look. This is a legitimate new look Laker team. They've done an impressive move, getting set up, but I still don't know if it's enough to get them past Jokic.
No, it's not.
Jokic ain't slowing down.
Jokic is not. The crazy thing is Jokic is really just entering his prime.
Yeah.
And Jamal Murray bounced back like
Like, I think he needed that. That was probably his extra drive. Like, not saying that he needed
injury.
No, his mindset had to.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Mamba mentality. That's how he switched it.
Coming back from that injury and accepting the number 2 role, but it not being a number 2. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing that's going to be really interesting about Milwaukee. Giannis finally has a closer. That was always what Giannis was missing. Giannis has always been in the games where they clog the paint and he can't score in the fourth quarter. What's going to happen? He has the ultimate closer now.
What I'm interested in seeing with Milwaukee in the regular season, and of course they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
With Drew Holiday gone, would that be a factor?
What difference is that going to make?
Defense and offense. You know, you're going to have that. It's
so
going
offensively, it's going to be interesting because they didn't lose Middleton. That was a major thing because now Chris Middleton is probably the best third option in the league at right now. At this point, he's probably the best number 3 option in the league. If we look across the board at let's say top tier teams, not the Knicks or the Spurs, but like if we go
Bradley Beal, you would choose Chris Middleton over Bradley Beal? Two-way?
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, I would now only because of injury history. Only because of injury history, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Bradley is he's another volume. That's the thing. Phoenix has 3 volume scorers.
Is he going to give you like DeMar DeRozan vibes?
That's the thing. I think I even would take DeMar over Bradley Beal. I would only because DeMar, and I guess I'm gonna say it like this: I've yet to see Bradley accept a role less than what. So this is gonna be the season where we can figure out where to put him. Because with John Wall, he always thought he thought they were Batman and Superman and not Batman and Robin. And then John left, and you weren't either. You were Aquaman. Like, hey, cool, but
you get that man the Flash, dog.
No, because Flash is cool. Like, nobody want to be Aquaman. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be in Washington, being the leader of the Washington Wizards team with nobody there with you, and still can't do nothing. And you brought Russ in, and
he brought Kuz. Kuz did something.
How that worked out?
Kuz control. But the Milwaukee thing is going. Now, offensively, you mentioned offensively the difference between Drew leaving there. I found a stat, and when I read it, I had to read it twice because it is scary. Damian Lillard was tied for number 1 in pick and roll offense last season, pick and roll scoring. Giannis scored on 79% efficiency in pick and roll action last year. This will probably be the most lethal pick and roll we've seen since John Stockton and Karl Malone. and Steve Nash and Amari.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be scary.
Well,
if Dame was already doing that.
We gotta look
at
how the
with Nurkic.
Yeah, defense is really not anything like how it used to be.
Nope.
Like, obviously, nobody is trying to get contact in the paint. We obviously know. I think Jabari Parker just recently did a interview, pretty much saying like why he got out the NBA. Just all the changes. It's a lot softer. Guys that shouldn't be shooting threes are shooting threes. You got majority of guys taking more mid range than getting in the paint. Nobody's doing the Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, I haven't really seen anybody do big.
I'm trying to figure out why no one's adopted the skyhook yet. At this point in a career, why is there not a big man?
Embiid does it every now and then.
No. See, and that's the thing. That's an every now and then thing. The skyhook was an every play thing. Like, it's why is nobody leaving and going? Why is nobody calling Kareem and saying, "Hey, I want to work with you this offseason. Teach me the skyhook," and utilizing it all season?
Because Kareem's
Kareem's
mean to these guys, and he doesn't. Everybody don't want to.
Kareem, I ain't gonna lie, Kareem he does give off the bitter old man vibes.
I was gonna say that if he won't even
teach LeBron passed him, he was like,
yeah.
I mean, well, okay, but let's be fair. That's one of the we always thought unbreakable records. Now, we do know that the John Stockton record's never going anywhere. That'll never. No. Nobody's beating that assist record ever because there's just not enough ball movement in the league now.
We thought Chris Paul was going to break it when Chris Paul.
At one point, we thought maybe Rondo, because Rondo went through
Rondo Celtics run was.
Rondo went through those stretches where he would give you 9 points and 19 assists with 7 boards.
You like, God dang, and 10 rebounds.
But the thing about Stockton, though, he'll still give you a 20-piece and
20. Give you a 20-piece with the biscuit.
A 40.
But I mean, it's easy to give you 20 assists when you have Karl Malone, who at the time finished
pick and roll is like a
2 all-time scoring.
Well, even then, we say that kind of a little bit about Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire about their pick and roll game.
Their pick and roll was strong.
Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
But Lob City was interesting. I feel like they had the wrong coach.
Yeah,
they just had the wrong.
They were this close.
Either they had the wrong coach or they couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, because Blake stayed hurt.
Yeah,
and then Chris Paul gets hurt in the playoffs. He's the playoff man. He gets hurt in the playoffs every year.
That's a guarantee.
So
weak in the lower body.
Weak in the
lower body.
Look, I will say that the year that he was with Houston and he got hurt, they was going to beat Golden State.
Oh yeah, they were going to beat Golden State that year. They were going to beat them. That's why he got hurt. The script was real.
Written. And then James Harden.
I mean, you gotta do something. You gotta turn.
That's like Kawhi when Zaza slid the foot. Yeah, they were gonna beat Golden State that year. Yeah.
Speaking of Kawhi Leonard, you know what this whole deal gives me vibes of?
What?
Damian Lillard. What I'm talking about is remember when he wanted to get out of San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, we'll let you out, but we get to pick where you go.
Where you go. Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as Damian Lillard said, I want to go to Miami, they was just like, that's the last place we going to
That's the last place. I mean, so
and they shipped him off to Siberia. And what he did.
It's crazy, though, because with the wanting to go to Miami, they offered one deal and then just never
followed back up.
They never followed back up. Like, and I mean,
something that caught my eye on the X. A dude was like, if they would have sent him to Miami like he wanted, that would set a dangerous precedent for the rest of the NBA.
Absolutely.
Just sit around until you send me where I want to go. I ain't playing.
But they would have been a small team, but they would have been a fast team.
They would have been fast, but the issue is they would have lost Hero.
Yeah.
They already lost Gabe Vincent and Strauss. Like they lost so much in the offseason, and then you still have Kyle Fatboy Lowry. So it's just kind of like
it's about time for Kyle to go to maybe Sacramento, be on a
to the big three.
But Jaylen Brown, helped Ice Cube out in the big three.
Yeah.
Oh, that big three. I thought you meant there was a big three somewhere in the NBA.
No,
the big three.
Lowry got his ring.
Half
he got
court.
his ring, and that's it.
This man shoots set shots from the 3-point line. This man don't get no air on his jump. It's like, God, no.
But no, seriously though, this is you made a very good point though, T. Like this would have set a very dangerous precedent. And now you got to look at it. Embiid's got to possibly be thinking, might be time for me to get up out of Philly.
Oh, I've already talked about that.
This might be his last year, honestly. If they don't do nothing,
if he's gonna say the same thing Giannis said, I'm dedicated to winning, and if y'all can't build me a winner, I'm out.
But where do you go? He's going to the West Coast. Because
I don't think Embiid's built for the West. I don't think he's built for the West.
But I don't think he stays in the East.
Come on
I
home.
think he goes to Miami.
No, come on home.
With Jimmy. They say him and Jimmy were okay. They said they're good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I take that back because I can see him in Miami. If he wants to go to a system, even though San Antonio maybe.
Realistically, there's only one team in the league with the assets to trade for Embiid.
Boston.
So I'll say this: if y'all are willing to give up Jaylen Brown, then but
no, we just
gave that contract, so y'all not. Yeah.
It's okay. It's OKC. They got 35 picks in the next 4 years.
Yeah,
that's true. They got a whole lot of bargaining chips.
They got a lot of picks to give up. And I wouldn't mind Embiid and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander together.
So they're full of Golden State because they can operate by picks. Because that's all they've been getting.
That's all they got. So you have your superstar. You got Shai. You got Josh Giddey. Then you got your boy that didn't get to play last year. Their number one, their first round pick. His name is escaping.
The young boy.
The young cat.
Damn, what the boy name? The one that got hurt in the summer league.
Yeah, got hurt in the summer league. You already got your 3 pieces. Plus, you got 35 picks over the next 3-4 years.
Yeah,
they set.
Just the only thing you got to worry about is getting the bench involved and making sure that your second units and your third units are really going to be good to go.
Well, see, they're so young. They can run a 9-10 man rotation all season and be just fine. They're so young.
But then it comes to the picture of now we have this season implemented is the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
I think it's a dumb idea.
More money, more TV.
I understand the business aspect of it, but I'm not gonna watch it.
Is that on top of the 82 games?
Yes. It's like baseball at this point. There's too many games.
Yeah.
You're playing for a mid-season championship.
What the WNBA does.
Yeah.
So
it's like AAU in the middle of the season.
I miss the lockdown season. That 66 game season was perfect. It was
fire.
Yeah.
Everybody was rested, so everybody played all 66 if they could. They need to cut off like 16 games off the regular season but they're not going to because of the shares and the money involved. But the season's already too long, and now I'm not talking about physically. I'm just talking about as a fan. I am not watching 82 Laker games.
Oh, no.
It's just not happening.
Well, even then,
I might not watch 82 total games through the season.
So do you think they're making up for the money that they lose from the WNBA?
There's so much that they lose from the WNBA. I don't know if you can really make it up.
I mean,
that ain't drops in the bucket for the NBA, though.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how much money could they possibly lose from the WNBA?
That's why I still think
they shut it down by now.
Yeah.
It
would have shut down.
But they're not gonna do that.
No, they're not gonna do it. But you know what I'm saying? What am I saying? Like if the NBA brings in $5 billion and they lose $10 million to the WNBA, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with that.
They lost $1 billion. Hey, you gotta go.
You cost me billions. You know
what I'm saying? Yeah.
It just ain't working. I'm sorry.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
I try to watch it.
I miss what the WNBA used to be. Kind of like 2010. Well, before that, and then 2010 going into like maybe like 15, 16. That Maya
you talking about when the Lynx were running thing?
Yeah.
Boy, that Maya Moore era, boy. Maya was out there dogging people, dog.
And it's crazy because it's like I don't feel like Candace Parker had an era. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like Brittany Griner had an era. Like I just like the names that they were.
Was probably like the most dominant season because it was like, oh dang, we got a woman that's out here dunking regularly.
Yeah, like I don't. They don't have, but it's like but it's like that's another it's the same conversation. The all-star versus superstars. The superstars of the WNBA are they're either old or they're retired now. You got a bunch of all-stars. You got a bunch of great talented. There's a bunch of great talented women in the league, but they don't have
Rebecca Lobo.
They don't have. Who's the face of the WNBA?
Tarasi.
Who?
Exactly. Like, think about what you just said. That's basically
how old she is.
That's the same thing as saying the Undertaker's the face of WWE right now.
She's like the Kobe of the WNBA.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you got something that's on the way, but
we'll
see.
Talking about that little girl out of LSU. She ain't in there yet.
No, I'm talking about an old girl from Brittany
Stewart.
Stewart. I think will be Brittany Stewart.
Yeah, I think she'll be up there. She'll be up there.
And then old girl from Iowa when she gets there.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna put all their money on her.
Got hurt before Sabrina got hurt. I thought she was about to take the lead by storm, but then when she got hurt, I think it was her first game with the Liberty. Sabrina,
how many teams are in the WNBA still? It's like 10. There's like 10 teams, right?
Well,
I think they're trying because once they brought the Aces in, it bumped them up because the Aces are a couple years old.
Yeah, they're only a couple years old. They're still a newer team. Maybe I'll say 10, 12 teams. So
Vegas coming through the team.
15. Historian, where you at?
Hey, so they talking about expanding
12,
getting the team
12.
Yeah, it's 12
for Vegas.
I'm okay with Vegas getting the team. If Vegas gets a team, Seattle needs to get a team back.
Oh, they got to. The money.
If you're gonna put a team in that casual market, you need to balance it out with a team in a hardcore.
Supersonics.
You need to bring
They need the Supersonics back.
You got to bring it back.
Wait, we're talking NBA or W?
Seattle is yearning for that.
Yearning. Word of the day, yearning.
I'm yearning for your love.
Speaking of yearning, though, Dame being named to the NBA top 75 team, getting a ring this way, does that still give him justification for that, or is it just done? Like, because I don't believe he should be on there at all right now. He's not. There's a lot of players on there that didn't make it that should have over Dame. If Dame gets his ring this way, does this solidify him in that position though?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
He's dedicated himself to Portland.
He did.
Barnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his loyalty was to Portland, but as a player, he understood like it just wasn't gonna happen. And people turned on for that.
So Dame getting traded and asking for a trade is hilarious that people are upset about it because of what happened and what came from this trade. Day before yesterday, Drew Holiday, I love being a Buck. I want to retire here. Next day, Bucks trade him. It's okay for an organization just to do whatever they want, but when a player takes their destiny in their hand,
Isaiah Thomas with
the Celtics. Boy,
that hurt me after you played after your sister, bro.
Yeah.
What? Bro, that hurt me for him. And he's still trying to get back in the league.
Cover up too, because y'all boys did that man wrong.
That's your organization. Your organization does that. Look, we still pay Luau Dang money after years, even though he wasn't playing.
I'm so glad
let's move on.
Cut out, Jesus.
But that's just like that's just like employment out here. Hey, it's good for them to lay us off, but they get mad when we don't put in our 2 weeks notice.
Put in a 2 weeks notice.
They mad when I do it.
I'm not putting in it. I'm sorry. Look, and don't get me wrong, and I understand. So the last 10 years I've worked in the same industry, but I've had 4 jobs, and I only put a 2 weeks notice in one time. And that was only because I was local, and I found another local job, and I liked my boss. I'm not putting a 2 weeks notice in because you don't care about me. That gives you time to replace me. Okay, well, hey, y'all.
Then be in your feelings the last 2 weeks that I'm there for you to sit there and try to get me the BS stuff. Hey, well, I need you to work this extra.
I've seen people put 2 weeks notice in and then get sent home and not even work the last 2 weeks they're there.
Yes,
that happens to my boss.
That happens.
So
I do it the kind of same way. I will give them the letter saying this is my 2 week notice. I'll be done in 2 weeks. I don't come back to work.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, why would I come back after I let you know that I'm quitting?
Right. No.
What? No.
Immediately.
Look, no, I hit him with the smoky. Peace out.
Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence and get them people their time.
You doing your due diligence.
Because my last boss, he was like, well, can you work out the 2 weeks just in case you ever want to come back? I said, nope.
No, because I know. So understand something.
No.
I put a 2 weeks notice in because I always knew, hey, if I needed to go back to that job, I did it the right way and I could. I'm not ever going back to any of the other jobs. I just quit. Like, I left for a reason.
Or tough times. I'll go back to McDonald's if I need to.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
If I fell on tough times, 2 tough times, I'll go back to McDonald's.
Speaking of tough times, I got a stat for y'all that I wanted to talk about off camera, but I was like, no, because I want y'all genuine reaction. Trigger, this one probably will, I don't want to say affect you, but I'm waiting for your response on it. It has been 1,978 days since John Cena has won a televised singles match in WWE. The last singles match that John Cena won was in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You say what?
But how much has he not been wrestling though?
But still.
Yeah.
We coming up on 6 years almost.
Well, they've been putting him in tag matches.
They've been putting him in tag matches, and then he's been losing the singles matches. The last match he won was the Greatest Royal Rumble against Triple H back in 2018. That was the last last televised singles match he won.
Well, but he's in that era where he's putting over.
Where it don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter, bro. He's putting over.
But it's just wild because you would have never heard Hogan giving back to the business like that.
Surprise! Hogan gave The Rock his moment.
Dog, he gave Rock 2 of them.
Hey, look. You see what Scott Hall and Ash did.
He wasn't giving Shawn Michaels nothing.
Look, Shawn said, "Oh, bet."
Oh Legend Killer versus Legend. Did he beat Randy at SummerSlam that year?
Who?
Hogan.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Well, I can get the stat for you. Hold on.
I want to say he beat Randy.
I thought it was Legend versus Legend Killer, Randy and Shawn Michaels.
They did that too. Okay. But they did it because it was when Randy RKO'd Hogan on the trunk of the car.
Oh, I remember.
One of my favorite RKOs of all time, just because I loved watching Hogan go down.
You remember when Undertaker drugged?
Yeah, they said Hulk Hogan tore meniscus in his left knee was a concern during his match with Randy Orton. His spirits, his heart, and Hulkamania were stronger than ever. At SummerSlam, Hogan proved that not even the Legend Killer can stop the power of Hulkamania running wild.
Why did he need to go over?
He didn't.
He Hogan, man.
Like Hogan didn't need to go over with Shawn Michaels.
You know how he does. You know how he does, man.
Speaking of Shawn Michaels, my man's is cooking down at NXT, boy.
Ain't he?
That wall got cooked too.
I mean,
that wall got knocked the hell down.
I don't understand the Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin thing. Who's the face? I don't understand. Nobody. But the rest of the show, well,
it was mid.
It
had some standout matches. But
it had some standout moments, but this No Mercy card is full of potential. This No Mercy card has the potential to be as good as a Black and Gold takeover.
Honestly, they could have done a fatal 5-way, a 6-way, if for all I care. Because that fatal 4-way was.
It was nice.
Fire.
Shout out to Trick Williams.
Whoop that trick.
Hey,
whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop
that trick.
I like it.
Yeah. I like it.
A-U-R-A. Aura. That man had. And you know what? It's funny because watching him walk out and then watching Sammy Guevara walk out, it's like night and day in presence. Not presentation, but in presence. Because Sammy's better in ring.
But
Sammy should have the better persona.
But
with what he's working with, the fact that you were with Jericho for as long as you were, the fact that you were with Cody for as long as you were,
and then the match you had with Cody,
it's wild that Trick is being presented as the bigger star.
For a split second, I thought Dragon Lee was probably going to get match number 2 because
I thought he was.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
But
I like the finish.
I like the finish. Finish was perfect.
I love the finish.
Let me have a moment real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I want to give my proper respects to Trick Williams. Because when he first came out, y'all probably remember when he first came out, I was like, what in the world is a Trick Williams?
Yeah.
Like, of course, they going to name the black dude Trick Williams. That man has surpassed everything I thought he would ever be to be in the spot that he's in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Can we say that Trick Williams, and I'm going to say this name, and I don't know if anybody's going to be mad about it or not, but
you about to make some fickle mad.
Is Trick Williams the new Velveteen Dream?
So
I personally wouldn't go that far.
I'm going to say no. Only.
You bad boy.
Only.
Because Velvet.
Just the aura.
Velveteen. And I'm gonna say this. Let your soul. Velveteen Dream had the opportunity and the what's a good word? The potential.
Man, I was waiting for a word of the day.
He had the potential to be that 1983-84 MJ that developed into that 1996, 1997, 1998 MJ. He had the potential to go down as the greatest of all time. Man, there's a difference when you embrace your character and it doesn't come off as being cheesy. Like how y'all know how I feel about MJF sometimes, about how he just tries so hard. Yeah. This has been the best stretch of his career to me with Cole. Mm-hmm. But back when he was healing it up, there was just so much where he was just trying so much. Joint. Yeah. Velveteen just gave off
roll bounce.
Just sweetness. Yeah. Velveteen Dream not only had the opportunity to go down as the greatest African American wrestler of all time, but he had the opportunity to go down as the greatest homegrown WWE talent of all time.
Listen.
All time. When Shawn Michaels said, I don't even want you guys to compare him to me because that limits just how good he actually could be.
That was a hell of a compliment.
When Shawn Michaels said that on national television,
I'd have cried.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Like that, you know what I mean?
The greatest in-ring performance.
Where we're at right now, Velvet, I'm going to say this. Where we're at right now, and I think I've said this on air before, and I'm going to say it again.
Say it again.
The way Velveteen was booked and presented and the way he just was engulfed in his character.
What?
He had the potential to beat Roman at WrestleMania, this coming WrestleMania, and we would have been fine with it.
What?
Like, he could beat Gunther, and I would have been fine with it.
What?
That man could have beat Brock and Roman in a handicap match at WrestleMania, and I would have been fine with it the way he was being presented.
Yeah.
What?
But with Trick, you can see the slow burn. Yeah. You can see the makings of that superstar. But with Velveteen, it was just like an overnight thing. Like when we saw Velveteen, you knew. Look, the snaps, lights, aura.
That man would jump 5 levels within the next
within one promo. And I'm just like, how good is he? Like I don't, and it's not a knock. I don't ask that about Trick, like because you can actually just see how good Trick is. You can see how fast he's developing. You can see where he's coming and where he's going. But Velveteen, man, for me personally, and I'm only saying, and I know this could be a prisoner of the moment conversation, but I think he is the biggest wasted potential in professional wrestling history.
But it's his own fault.
It is absolutely.
It is.
I think it's more wasted potential than any of the Von Erichs. I think it's more wasted potential than trying to think of somebody else who just didn't, who should have been Curtis Axel / Michael.
I was going to go down that route. I was going to say Ted Jr.
Ted Jr. Velveteen is over them to me.
Yeah.
And not to get off of the Velveteen topic because we could talk about this for the rest of the night. But speaking of second generation superstars and NXT, we got a vignette for if you don't know who it's for.
Hold on, before you go in, did you delete my comment from the post?
I did.
You jackrabbit! I said, where my comment?
I did because I didn't want anybody else to be spoiled.
Oh, so that means you deleted mine too?
I don't know. I might have.
I saw the shirt. I saw the shirt in the vignette.
So and it was. I mean, the signs were all there. The WCW Saturday Night and then the Cincinnati. It was all there. Brian Pillman Jr. is coming to NXT. Question though, folks. We have seen WWE do right by second and third generation talent, and we've seen them do wrong by second and third generation talent.
But according to the internet, they don't never do wrong by second generation talent.
Whatever.
A lot of people on the internet don't expect much. They don't expect much for this run coming up.
They don't expect much for Brian Pillman Jr. What? How do y'all feel about him coming?
I like it. Like he, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why he fizzled out in AEW to begin with. That varsity blonde or whatever it was, that was a good little thing they had.
I think the roster was just too bloated.
Right.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that the Guns found themselves.
Yeah.
They found it, and the Guns just
shot off because
they leapfrogged a couple of people.
Because they were.
I think when Julia Hart left for the House of Black, that hurt them too.
That hurt too.
I think what they'll do if we can dial back the time when Dad Brian Pillman Sr. I believe some of his greatest stuff was in WWF at the time.
Yeah,
character-wise,
As
absolutely.
the loose cannon. As the loose cannon. Can we get that with him? Not necessarily loose cannon.
Like Cold, or with the Hart Foundation type joint, or
But that's also the question. Sean came up in that era, so Sean has the mind to do it. Is Brian Pillman Jr. And I guess we're gonna call this episode hype because the boots, and it's unfortunate because you don't ever want to pigeonhole anybody, but your dad is to some people a legend. To some people he's a legend.
He's a legend.
Living up to that is hard. So with The Rock, High Chief Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson were legends, but they weren't where The Rock was going to eventually turn up. Right. It's Brian Pillman Jr., one of those people that, prime example, Randy Orton. Cowboy Bob is a legend, but he's not where Randy is.
Randy superseded that.
Is Brian Pillman Jr. one of those guys that he can supersede Brian Pillman? Because a lot of people are going to just only, like Black said, think about Brian Pillman in WWE. We got to go back and think about light heavyweight champion in WCW, Brian Pillman having phenomenal matches on Clash of the Champions, and then the Hollywood Blondes, Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
And then Four Horsemen, Brian Pillman, and then going into Loose Cannon in WWF. Is Brian Pillman Jr. one of those guys that
can thrive?
Does he have? Because we've seen him live. We've seen him wrestle live. I know Sharon, you've seen him, but is Brian Pillman Jr. one of those guys that has it to supersede his father?
He can go.
He can go.
He can go, but I think it's the mind. I think it's really who can tap in with him and guide him, because like I said, Sean was right there through that era. Sean understands, like, if you're going to make him gritty, if you're going to make him like old school, then you really have to make him like that no nonsense, no bullshit, like 90s, 80s blonde cat, like the throwback retro vibe. But I think Sean is probably like the only person right now besides Trips, but mainly Sean, that can really get him and not let him fizzle out. Because Sean really hones it like how they were going to do with Mustafa Ali, was honing in, allowing you to work, find yourself, working with you. They were really up on you. And he doesn't have bad work, but he just got underlined. He got pushed under because it just wasn't no time. But now you have time.
Now you got time.
I think with him, can you make me believe like I believed in your father?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Good point. Real good point.
See,
Real good point.
They talk about that all the time, you know what I'm saying, with the whole following in your father's footsteps. Does he did that vignette do that? Because what I'm getting at is they try that. Like, think Dustin Rhodes. Him as the cowboy, like his dad and all this stuff. He had to go a completely different route to get completely over.
Yeah, he did. He had to go left, go down the block, go around the building.
That's what I'm saying. So when Brian Pillman Jr. comes in, he can do the whole
So are you thinking he needs to get away from the Brian Pillman name? No, because that hurt Ted DiBiase Jr. Being
another example,
because they gave him the $1 million title. Then he was a part of Legacy, which kind of and the same thing with Curtis Axel. Same thing, but see the opposite for Curtis Axel. They should have never had him come in as Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah,
you're the son of Kurt Hennig and the grandson of Larry Larry
the Axe, baby.
Axe. Like, come on. Like, it's right. And the guy could go like his dad.
Yeah, he can.
Still ain't been
why would you not pull off of the Mr. Perfect gimmick to give him? So it's weird because, in a sense, you want to see what Brian Pillman Jr. can do, but is it going to be sink or swim for him with the first thing coming out of the gate? Like, if this first thing fizzles out, will it be like a Michael McGillicuddy where after that, it don't matter how good you might be, I don't care?
It depends on where he's at. If he's in NXT, then he may have that. All right, we can repackage, give you a little bit. But if he's on the main roster, that's sink or swim.
He's on NXT because if the first thing doesn't work, they can pull a Duke Hudson. They didn't give him 6 or 7 gimmicks. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I like this Duke. It took me a long time to find Duke because I swear I was ready for his future endeavor.
I like the poker Duke. I thought that could have done something, but whatever.
I like Chase U Duke.
NXT is a way to work though. NXT is just a way to like really morph your character and find you. And once you get it rolling, you get it rolling. Like sometimes it may be too late, but I'd rather you get it down there than you get put in catering on the main roster and you're just sitting there for like a year and not doing nothing.
So what's his main roster ceiling? What's his main roster ceiling then?
Mid-card champion.
Best case.
Mid-card tag team.
So when we say mid-card, are we saying Intercontinental US champ or just?
He can go back and forth. It depends. Like I said, he can go back and forth between Intercontinental US champion. I would say he maybe start a run with the US championship.
Yeah,
I think that would fit.
That Intercontinental belt has been elevated to levels that we haven't seen
to not mid-card levels anymore. Like it's not I don't feel like that's a mid-card title anymore. Like
if they retired it, I'll be fine.
It should be like it was back in the day where you win the Intercontinental belt, you automatically #1 contender for the world.
We know you're next.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I was about to ask who was the US champ, but then I remembered it was Ray. I was like,
it's about time. I think they about to. I think
Santos gonna drop that. Santos gonna take that. He's got to.
But back with Brian Pillman Jr., you have to have are there enough fans that really know who he is and what he does?
That's the question.
So me personally, I feel like you need to do a whole character change. Like I don't need no Rusty Blonde Brian Pillman. I don't need no PWX Brian Pillman. I don't need that Brian Pillman. I need a totally different Brian Pillman.
So kind of like how Finn Balor did when he came to WWE.
I mean, he didn't necessarily have it. He was really the same dude, really, from New Japan. He was just more the rock and roll. He was the rock and roller.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see.
I mean, I'm happy for him. He finna get that.
I'm happy for him. He's about to get his bag.
Oh man,
I'm always happy. I'm always happy for anybody that can go in.
I want to see him, really.
I want to see him do great things.
Shoot, I want to see him shoot. If he busts out the mid card and goes to the damn main event, hey, shoot, we just gonna have to see.
We're just gonna have to see.
Exactly.
With Carmelo possibly leaving, it's gonna open up a lot.
I call it now. Ilya getting that thing.
He got to.
Ilya getting that thing.
Well, and speaking of Ilya and Melo, no mercy. NXT was kind of mid this week, but Sean's been cooking. But he got the ingredients for a takeover.
Do we get the turn at No Mercy?
The turn of who?
I don't want it.
I don't want it either. But that sucker is right there.
You don't have to split up Carmelo and Trick. You really don't have to.
Don't need it.
But he accidentally tossed him the chip, and then Trick walks out with the North American, and now you create a program where it's like, all right, now I love you, brother. I appreciate you, but I have to leave from here. I have to separate myself from you.
Is it time to take the belt off Dom first off? Before we say give it to Trick, is it time to take it off of Dom?
Yes.
No.
I say yes and no.
See, that's the thing. Okay, why yes and no?
Yes, because excuse me, let me start with no. No, because obviously you still have so much ascension with the Judgment Day, but then again, we don't know what they're going to do with the tag belts because we hear they're trying to split them back up onto individual brands. So we don't know what they're going to do with that. Then we don't. It's so many teasers of what's going on with the breakdown of Judgment Day, but they're here one week, they're down this week. It's like a roller coaster here. Then Mommy's out. Then he was like, well, if you guys don't show up or you guys don't win these belts or have them after Fastlane when Mommy returns, it's going to be something to pay because now we know Rhea's the leader of the group. So now we know that. So it creates a compelling story if they don't or if he doesn't have it, because now we see that dynamic between Dom and Rhea kind of go and shift sideways. So we want to see if they kind of like
is he still gonna be that dirty Dom to her if without the belt, without the gold.
Right. So I think either way it can be beneficial because with Trick getting it, now you have it on NXT, but with Dom having it, you have it on the main roster, moving around, going city to city.
That's the thing. So with Dom having it, it's a lot. It's bringing eyes, and we've seen his numbers for NXT. He brings numbers.
And that match with Dragon Lee was freaking fire.
Yeah. T, you said yes?
Yeah.
You said it is time?
Yeah. Because I don't think, I get why it happens. I get why main roster people come down and get the belts. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't last too long.
Okay. Oh, now that I understand.
No Mercy. I think
that's what I'm saying. They should drop it at No Mercy to Trick Williams to get it back in the rotation of NXT. Same thing with Becky Lynch. Should she lose Saturday? I think so. Will she? Probably not.
So okay.
But she's on that run to bring the light in the
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about that because Becky went over, but Tiffany got over.
Right.
And that's always something that you want to do. If Tiffany is going to the main roster, then Becky should hold it and lose it to Bird Chick or someone like that. I don't want her to lose it to Tiffany and then Tiffany go up to the main roster and still be on NXT too. Then y'all are just trading a belt.
I hope they don't bring Tiffany up.
I don't right now. She's still not ready to meet. Her promos are not there.
It's very giving much like Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
It's giving me like Selling Sunset vibes, and she just needs to be on it's kind of giving me like Carmella when she was doing like the whole
when she had like the wedding dress joint or whatever.
Was she doing like the kind of the up north like gimmick?
Oh yeah. The after Big Cass and Enzo left her. Yeah.
What was it? The trash talk.
The Staten Island.
Yeah,
the Staten Island Princess or whatever she was. That was whack.
Shouts out to Carmella. She pregnant.
Shouts to Mella.
Got the baby soon, girl. We miss you.
Baby great.
I'm gonna be honest. The match I'm most looking forward to is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, just because I can't wait to see the Creeds in action.
They're winning.
I don't know. Usually, I would want to say yeah, but
do you want?
We
Tony
haven't
to get it
seen Stack. We haven't seen Stacks and what's my man Tony D. We haven't are they gonna lose? What this is their first defense, right?
No.
But the thing is, why? Like, I mean,
this is the first defense.
They had the belts for 6 months.
Well, on Heat Wave,
yeah.
Like on Heat, like
they're pulling MJF numbers.
Bro, and that's crazy. You were like the voiceover and like the lead figure on the acting for Heat Wave, but you mean to tell me this is your first defense since Stand and Deliver?
Yeah, like I don't like that they haven't. So I don't know if this is how they're gonna lose.
I swear they defended them joints. They had a match,
bro. The Creed brothers was defending it on regular nights.
The Creed was defending the Creed was defending them weekly. If they
look this up. Is this really their first?
Yeah. We're not gonna disrespect the NXT Tag Team Championship belts like that. Yeah, we're not doing that. So they're gonna have to drop them joints. They may got to drop on the second run. You know, when they want to work a little bit more. They want to. Hey, yo, Paulie, you want to meet Bull? You want to meet Bull Pastrami? Yeah, brother.
I'm gonna hit the Drewski on you real quick. That's got to be racist. Like,
oh god.
That's got.
Well then.
I mean, that was a good impression.
This is how I feel about their run right now.
No, they've had the belt since July and haven't defended them at all.
Look, this is how I feel about their run. Really dead right now.
It's been 6 months.
6 months. I'm dry.
Does it feel like 6 months? No, because wrestling.
No, it's coming up on 3 months. But like the fact that y'all haven't done anything makes me wonder, was somebody injured?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Somebody injured or what?
But I'm really looking forward to that, and especially seeing what Bronco and Lucien do. I like the inclusion of Scripps, aka Reggie. I like giving them a kind of grit and just a harder edge.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
They were kind of wandering. They were wandering kind of aimlessly in NXT, but you put them with Scripps, and now it kind of. Hopefully it's not.
That match was freaking horrible.
I hope it's not a crime time style kind of vibe, but we'll see.
And then,
of course,
Blair
Davenport. They need a different name. I'm sorry. Out the mud is
out the mud. Hey, listen. If you ain't never had get out the mud, bro.
Look, you ain't never had them fruit sandwiches, them applesauce sandwiches, them
you ain't never been on the block.
I live that life now.
You ain't never been on the block at 2 a.m.
Potted meat in my cupboard right now, dog.
You said you got meat in your cup.
Did you say potted meat?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, I thought you said meat in his cup. I said
got crackers too.
Oh yeah, I got crackers.
You got you got Ritz or you got saltines and you got off-brand joints.
No, I got saltine. I got a little money in my pocket.
Okay.
You got the Vienna.
Got enough for that.
For Kaylani and Blair Davenport.
My beers.
I wonder how that's gonna be. Because I thought it was gonna be Gigi and Blair.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see. I love Blair, but I don't know what they're doing with her. But again, that's what happens when Becky has the title. Everybody else just kind of has no direction.
Oh, Noam Dar.
Noam Dar and Butch.
Look, that's gonna be a.
I don't like the Heritage Cup rules.
I really hate them. That it sucks.
But I do feel like Butch is gonna be able to give you that British strong style match, and it'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like they have those matches with people like Dragon Lee or whatever, and that's not how they wrestle. But Butch is coming from this style, so I'm down to see Pete Dunne. We gonna leave Butch backstage. I'm down to see what Pete Dunne and Noam Dar can do, because this is gonna be a bruiserweight match.
I want to see Eddie and Dijak.
Dijak,
excuse me. Oh. That strap match was kind of
that strap match was hard hitting.
Yeah,
literally. I just got a quick question.
In front of the baby, dog.
In front of the baby. Do y'all think that the Heritage Cup will one day become the Heritage Championship?
Like
so that's what I do. So that's what I do in 2K. I made a belt.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in lugging around the big trophy and having a match.
That's like carrying around the Stanley Cup. Like for what?
Yeah, like why would you carry it around?
You're not taking that on the plane.
Right, nah.
No, like you're not.
That's going in the truck. That's going in the truck.
And they're lucky that
production
they only stay in the PC center for that.
Yep, that's luck. Because if that was a main roster thing, that joint is gonna get damaged.
Unless you're driving. Other than that, that's a wrap.
Hey, they drive a lot, so I guess maybe it's a possibility. But I know I wouldn't be toting it around everywhere.
But no, since NXT don't move from week to week, like talking about, they probably just leave it there.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Leave it in Shawn Michaels' office, and then come back and get it. Like, you still got it out. All right, thank you.
I'm not excited to see like Baron and
I don't care about that match.
I like the setup, like how it was like old school fighting outside. Get them like, you know, it just, I guess for the build up, like you said, it's heel versus heel. So like,
why is Baron still in NXT? I'm sorry, not Baron, but Braun Breaker's still in NXT.
Yeah,
because of that painted.
Honestly, because I don't think you know where to go with him. Like as far as right now,
U.S. champion right now. Debut him, have him beat the dog out of Ray. U.S. champ. Bow.
On SmackDown. So who will he face? Because we know Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are getting ready to go.
I love that tag team. I hope they do big things. I love them together.
They got to win tag team championships.
They are the Waller Theory.
No, they are A-Town Down Under. Like,
that's a good one too.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna discredit mine like that. I ain't gonna mine up. But that's a good one. I like that one better.
The Austin Kangaroos.
The what?
It's weird because the Intercontinental Championship is here, and the U.S. title is.
Well, the U.S. title was here when Bobby.
It was
because Bobby was going on that like that military run, like that patriotic run.
Steph got it, and it was like,
yeah. Then it went.
Okay.
But like I said, the Intercontinental that is now the Intercontinental.
We're not doing that this episode. I don't think I have a bad thing to say about him this episode, so we're not gonna do it. Speaking of the BCC, though,
big.
No.
Wrestle Dream.
Woo! Where dreams are made of.
Don't
the intangible best in the world title match. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
That's going to be.
This might be one of the greatest technical wrestling matches of all time.
Yeah.
Bret Hart ain't got nothing on this.
Zack Sabre Jr. he left a message for Bryan Danielson, and I'm gonna read it. The following is not the beliefs of Beyond the Bell podcast. This is a quote.
Rated R.
Zack Sabre Jr. You think it's cute, and I quote. You think it's cute using one of my own submissions to beat Okada. You think it's cute, darling. The audacity to use one of my own techniques. Try that bollocks on me, darling. Try it and you'll find out. Very fun. You're going to get your head kicked in. You're going to kick my head in? You better, mate. You better. Because if you don't kick my head in, I end your career, dickhead. You've got 1 week, Brian. End quote. Sir. The match was already high profile. The intensity we knew was already going to be there. The mystique, the intrigue. That message right there, though.
That man coming for Bryan Danielson head.
For his head. I'm talking about like post-concussion syndrome head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is going to be I don't think we'll ever see a more technical fight in our lifetime, but that is going to be a fight. It's going to be catch can wrestling.
What Michael Cole said is going to be fight night.
It's going to be wrestling.
Yeah.
In its purest form.
The Vern Gagne, the Nick Bockwinkel, this is going to be
Bryan Danielson
wrestling. Like, you're going to see collar and elbow tie up into a hammerlock reversal, into a hammerlock drop down, into a drop toe hold, into the headlock rollover, into the arm ring, the kip up, into you're gonna see the first 15 minutes of this match is gonna be so technical that
Boston Crab.
you're gonna get a Boston crab. You might get a half crab. You're gonna get an Indian death. You're gonna get an Indian death lock. The amount of moves that we are going to see countered.
Cattle mutilation.
Cattle mutilation has to happen. But the question is how's Bryan's arm?
Oh, it's gonna get mauled again. He's gonna get mauled again. He's gonna be out after this.
I feel like after this match, he might be, on the shelf for a little bit.
They cleared him. So
they cleared him.
I'm calling it now. He's gonna be done. He's gonna be gone for a little bit after this.
For a little bit.
There's no way it's not gonna be a hard hitting. I think he understands. I know who I'm going up against, and this ain't one of the matches where. Sorry, it's not gonna be an easy night. It's not gonna be a walk off, ice it off. No, we're gonna be hurting for a couple weeks, maybe months. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Slobber knocker.
We'll do a prediction episode. We're gonna do a prediction episode, so we can get
really kind of go in depth.
Ron drop 2. We're gonna get in depth with the card and the predictions, because I feel like that deserves a whole episode. Just the fact of the name of the show, and the fact that Inoki's family is going to be there, and the fact that Adam Cole has broken that ankle in 3 different places and requires surgery and is no longer in the cards.
I don't mean to laugh.
Trigger said something, and it was wrong, but it was funny. They said that Adam Cole is the Anthony Davis of professional wrestling, and
let me show
Street Clothes Cole.
Street Clothes Cole.
This man said,
and I'm just trying to figure out why
did you jump?
Why did you not take the stairs?
And now you ruined your match against Chris Danger in Deadlock Pro Wrestling, the independent scene.
Chris Danger
match. The independent scene was ready for this match, and now you've killed that match because you. But hey, whatever.
It's Adam Cole, baby.
We'll talk more about that.
Ankles Cole, baby.
I've read some reports out there.
He has talked MJF into a handicap match. Now, is this a part of the greater plan?
We will talk about this.
We will talk about that. All right, we will talk about this next episode.
Because I saw some stuff, and I went back, had to research. I said, "Wow."
Yeah. Oh no, there's been breadcrumbs. There have been breadcrumbs dropped. Speaking of getting dropped, Switchblade got beat down last night. Switchblade got that beaten when you had got suspended from school, and your mama had told you when she got home she was gonna get you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you right.
I'm gonna get you.
So you in the room chilling, thinking it's sweet because hey, she got off work and she came home and didn't say nothing. You think it's sweet, and then 9:30 rolls around. And she's like, "Come in." Stomach falls out. Yeah. That's how Switchblade got beat down last night. And the Devil Mask Kingdom. We don't know.
Or were there some signings made that we don't know about?
These are the little small stretches when AEW does something that brings the intrigue, but they gotta follow up on it properly.
Gotta follow up.
This
whole MJF Adam Cole deal is probably I ain't gonna say probably.
It is
the best storyline ever.
It's the best AEW storyline, period. Minus Christian being a menace and coming for Darby's own. Bro, this man somebody gonna hurt him. He gonna pick on the wrong. He gonna say something about the wrong person. It's gonna be a bad day. I'm surprised. Has he
something about my mama?
Has he run in the Big Show? I'm sorry, Paul White backstage and said anything about his daddy and brought up the Ross man? They got to do it. I gotta bring him with my daddy, and then him on the casket. They got to do it one time for the one time. Christian got to do it one time.
Look, I knew it was coming. When he looked down at his hands, he was like, "Yeah, about your uncle." I was like, "Oh Oh God!
He's like, this dude does not care, but it's funny.
And it's so freaking funny too. It ain't look. If it was me, I'd be. If it
but
was
it's wild though.
It's dark humor, and I love dark humor. But I know if it was me, I'm like, it'll be taking everything in my might not to swing on that mug. I'm like,
but it's wild though because it's like Christian's being built up as the ultimate heel. Is Edge coming in as the ultimate face? And that's are we gonna get that? And is that gonna be a TNT championship feud?
What if Edge come in and double down on it? Just like, yeah, you got no attitude.
Look, take a 5.
Are we gonna get rated R super? Because that's the thing. That's the thing. We have not. That's the only thing I have missed that I hate that we didn't get during this return stretch was a heel bad guy Edge.
Well, we were getting it slowly with the Judgment Day until they turned it so quickly.
Speaking on that though, do you think that was for that was for the best?
I think
him getting
at
out
the time,
looking at it, hindsight.
At the time, we didn't see it.
Exactly.
At the time, we didn't see it because we was like, well, what did they do now? Because nobody expected Finn to really take off with the Judgment Day and for it to be nothing. Because we was like, oh, Damian's about to probably go back to the NXT or something, and Finn's probably going to be pushed out the company, and
that's legit what we thought, boy.
Because everybody.
Let me say this though, real quick. You said, was it worth it in the end to get him out of the Judgment Day?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I'm 50-50 on it because the reason, according to the internet, they said they was moving into that supernatural thing in AJ,
and they never did.
And then they never did it. So what was the point?
Well, I think it was probably because they probably were, and Vince was on them reins. And Edge was probably like, I'll rather step back and allow Finn or somebody to come in because Finn has dealt with the supernatural stuff. Finn has played it well. So, I mean, if you're going to do that, I'll rather submit him into that position, play the role, and I'll back up and I'll do my face thing.
Yeah, but then they didn't do it.
I think the reason why they probably did it was it around when Vince had that situation.
I don't think it came out just yet.
Gabs in.
It was on the cusp. It was on the cusp. I think it was on the cusp of everything was getting real bad, but it hadn't broken yet. All hell ain't break loose just yet.
But I do agree. I agree that it was for the best because let's say if he didn't leave, all the focus would have been on him instead of the others.
Instead of everybody else. Yeah, you're right.
And it'd been like the Bloodline Part 2, even though the focus was mainly on Roman, you had subplots, but the subplots wasn't more important than Roman because when Roman came out, you already knew it was fucking Roman time. Excuse me.
Which it'd be nice. It'd be nice to be Roman time again, hopefully soon, Fastlane. But keeping it AEW. Swerve and Prince Nana. Which shout out to Prince Nana for having this stretch of his career. He's been around so long and not been mentioned, and now this might be the most over thing in AEW. Like his dance, the way he had that crowd rocking with him.
Man, when they was in New York.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Grand Slam, man.
New York. Yeah, Grand Slam.
That might actually be the
we some food. That's the second best dance in all of wrestling behind the big wiggle.
Second best dance behind all the wrestling behind the
y'all saw he was posted up with
shout out to Norman Smile.
I saw he posted up with Coach Prime and them boys.
Yeah, I saw that. That's Black Wrestling said that's cloudy. It is. Like that's clout right there.
Yeah.
He's gotta win this weekend though.
He has to.
Like at this point,
he has to.
Not just in his AEW career, but in his career period.
He has to.
This is probably the biggest. I'm not gonna say probably. Not just platform, but this is the biggest promoted match that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Like they have this because this seems like a big program. Like this build. The build. Like this is his program. This is the time for him to get his shine. and he's got to go over clean. I don't mind shenanigans. I don't mind shenanigans, but he's got to go over clean in the end. It's got to be clean. Paige, it doesn't hurt him to lose. It doesn't hurt him.
He's a made man in AEW.
He's a made man. He's 1/3 of the 6-man champ, which actually, from my understanding, they're talking about merging the Ring of Honor and the AEW Trios titles.
Need to.
Which makes sense. Into just one set of Trios titles. I don't know what company. Probably Ring of Honor. I probably would prefer for them to keep the Ring of Honor titles, just because of the history.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of merge, MLW, CMLL, and New Japan unite for a strategic alliance. They're going to be collaborating on a joint show next month.
It's cooking.
I'm okay with this as long as I get a Jacob Fatu versus a Jeff Cobb or an Okada.
How much longer Jacob Fatu got on his contract?
I think we got a year.
25, I think.
It's a year or 2 years. Like 2 years.
I think it's 2 years.
Yeah. Year and a half.
Okay.
But did you see what he said though when he was talking about it would be cool like WWE? Yeah, but then when he started talking about family, 8 kids, 8 kids,
I just want to get his bag.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the schedule, you know, he started talking about schedules, and it's kind of like, we don't know where you're gonna go.
That man on that Nick Cannon.
Jacob Fatu got 7 or 8 kids.
Yeah.
You know the Samoans be popping them out.
He ain't got nothing better to do.
Samoans love family. Samoans is built around family. So
Roman got 5 kids. His dog on himself. Yeah.
Yep.
And Jimmy and Jay got. I think Jimmy got 1. I know Jay got 1.
Naomi ain't had no kids.
Mm-hmm.
No. So you know what? And signing with WWE, I apologize. I'm remiss for forgetting. But there was a Jade quote. And there were so many quotables from her interview, but there was one that stuck out to me completely.
Top 3?
Jade Cargill on why she signed with WWE.
The top 3, but not 3.
The leadership. I mean, Paul Levesque, Bruce Pritchard, Dan Ventriel, and Nick Khan. You can't get any better than that. And I'm the first signing under the TKO umbrella. I'm the first signing under the TKO umbrella. I mean, there's so many different things. Where else can you go to get the best quality training? Nowhere else. The PC here is one of one. There's nothing else like it. The machine is behind you, the platform, just the overall history and the legacy. I'm creating a household name. I can go on and on. I mean, why not? The question more so is, why not? Like we said last week, and I'm going to say it every week until I turn blue in the face. You can go wherever you want to. You can win championships wherever you want to win championships. Look at Matt Cardona. That guy is having possibly the best independent run of anybody in history not named Cody. You can sell out arenas. You can have merch. You can be in video games. You can do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, you want to end up in WWE at some point in your career.
Just to say you've been there.
Just to say you've been there. Like, to know it. WWE is the litmus. It's the litmus test.
Mm-hmm. Bro, who doesn't want to say they don't want to be on WrestleMania?
Who doesn't? You know, Tommy Dreamer had a promo one day, and it was funny because he said, I may never make it to a WrestleMania. I don't ever want to make it to a Starrcade, which was disrespect for the WCW.
Yeah.
I was upset about that. But even the heart of the ECW knew what WrestleMania was. Like and I'm not saying in that you have to go to the E. You don't. You don't. If Mike Cardona never goes back and he retires, we're going to still talk about this independent run he had. But making it to the E and making it in the E,
Tinseltown is hard.
Is different. It's like the Lakers. Look, everybody wants to be in the lights until them lights come on.
And you got to show out and perform.
You got to. Them some bright lights.
Right.
Yeah, like those lights at TD Garden.
That's interesting.
They're a little dim. They're a little dim in TD Garden. That floor is kind of cool, but them lights in TD Garden is kind of dingy. You know.
Have you been in there?
A holding one in
You've been everywhere. I know you've been everywhere. You've been in there.
Yeah, I've been to TD. It's nice. I ain't gonna lie. That floor is nice. I ain't gonna lie.
I gotta go.
Hey, that's interesting that Tommy Dreamer said that, because it got me to thinking. I know I'm probably gonna go off subject here, but what was ECW's WrestleMania?
I want to say November to Remember, but
because it wasn't.
Or is it Guilty as Charged?
Guilty as Charged.
Is Guilty as Charged?
Was their WrestleMania?
Yeah, Guilty as Charged.
Yeah,
because it definitely wasn't.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, they never. So that was the one beautiful thing about ECW. All of their shows felt big. When an ECW pay-per-view was coming up, you just cared about an ECW pay-per-view. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't, like with WCW, we knew Starrcade was the show. Where WWE WrestleMania is the show. Impact, I always thought it should have been Slammiversary, but it's Bound for Glory.
It's Bound for Glory.
I always felt like Slammiversary was the better name / like, hey, this is our, but you know,
Bound for Glory just was hits.
Quick question.
There's another company.
What was first, WrestleMania or Starrcade?
Starrcade.
Starrcade
was. Yeah.
Starrcade was first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just always
first Starrcade was first Starrcade, I think, was 1983 with Harley Race and Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Obviously, that information is at my fingertips. I could have looked it up, but you know what I'm saying? They always called it the granddaddy of them all, but I thought it came after WrestleMania. So I was like, how?
WrestleMania 85.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania was 85? I thought it was 84.
Yeah, WrestleMania was 85. WrestleMania was 85. March 31st, 1985.
85, yep. So 2 years. But see, the thing is Starrcade was closed circuit.
True.
Yeah.
True.
WrestleMania was pay-per-view.
WrestleMania was closed circuit. The first one.
The first one, but the scale, Liberace, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
The star, you know like it was the definition of the stars came out.
Yeah.
Mr. T, Cindy Lauper.
Mr. T, you know, the Rock and Wrestling.
And Mr. T in the main event.
Who performed in the Battle Royal? What NFL player?
That was WrestleMania 2. That was because that was the NFL versus the WWF.
Yeah, Fridge. I forgot the other dude's name.
Jesus, that was
Big John Studd and them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, 83 was here. It was at the Coliseum.
Greensboro?
Yeah.
I got to get myself in there one day.
You do. Because they have an entire section dedicated to just the wrestling that's been here. So, like, the King of the Ring.
Like a museum or something?
No, just like
memorabilia.
So, because you got to remember, this is ACC territory as well. So the entire Greensboro Coliseum around it is just the history of everything that's happened, and then there's just a section of like Starrcade, King of the Ring, when they brought Starrcade back in 2017, I think it was. So it's because the first 2, 3, I think from like 83 to 86 was here, and then after that they started moving Starrcade around.
87 was Chicago.
Shout out 87.
Yeah.
Chi-Town Heat. Yep.
What was that? Ronnie Garvin and Flair.
It was Ronnie Garvin and Flair. Then you had because you had unification matches. So I think you had this when what's his name was the UWF television champion Terry Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
But he lost. That's when UWF pretty much was they all the best they had was going to the NWA.
Yep. Because then after that, that's when NWA started to become WCW. Because that next Starrcade was actually in not your neck of the woods, but your neck of the woods. It was at the Scope.
The Scope.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. I get excited about WCW. I can talk, y'all. Y'all will learn. I can talk all day about WCW.
He is the WCW historian.
I gotta go to the
aficionado. Word of the day, aficionado.
That should be a thing. All of us should look in a dictionary for a word to use on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm
a segment that we have coming up.
I'm a thesaurus. Drink from me.
I did that. My mom had a dictionary, and I heard the word innuendo on an episode of Smallville, and I was just like,
"Man, what's that?"
Yeah.
I'm like 14 years old.
So this weekend we got No Mercy and Wrestle Dream, and then we got Fastlane. What, the week after or the week after that?
Saturday.
I think Fastlane is next weekend.
Next Saturday.
Listen, man. Like I said 2 episodes ago, we got a lot of wrestling now. We asked for this. We asked for this. Like, we wrestling. But now that we have it, we have back-to-back pay-per-view weeks, multiple times a year with football. Yeah. Basketball starting in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then we still got baseball.
Still got baseball. The playoffs are starting. Like,
and then WNBA is coming up.
And I was telling my boy the other day, like, we talk about how much wrestling content there is, but we can only make a point for more because of how much people we don't see.
Because we don't see. That's like, because a lot of people, realistically, a lot of people don't watch Impact. But I try and catch, like, right now, Impact is recorded on my DVR right now, and I'm gonna try and watch it.
I don't even have this
weekend.
He's gonna try to.
I'm gonna try, because you got to realize we got. So if we start from this weekend, we got SmackDown tomorrow night. We got No Mercy, Wrestle Dream,
SmackDown and Collision.
Jesus,
Rampage.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. SmackDown, Rampage.
SmackDown, Rampage. No Mercy, Collision. No Mercy. Wrestle Dream, Raw, NXT, Dynamite. Just over the course of like 6 days, there's nonstop wrestling.
And we got Power tomorrow.
Excuse
me, we got Power tonight.
I'm gonna wait till the season's done and then I'll start watching it, because I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't seen a spoiler, nothing. So I'm happy I can just let it kind of just run its course.
So I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Black.
I don't know if y'all heard, but I was listening to a podcast the other day, and one of the guys from a source, he was saying that either at Wrestle Dream or Wednesday on Dynamite, they're going to announce the merge with Max, with HBO Max.
Supposedly. That was the game changing thing that he was talking about.
So this is the question though: how much higher does the subscription become then? Because I'm just going to tell you now, something eventually got to go.
First of all, I'm not paying for extra subscription. These subscription prices are really outrageous.
Bro, Hulu went up 3 times this year.
3. Hulu Live right now for me is $82.99.
What?
$82.99 for Hulu Live. That's Hulu including live TV.
Hulu.
That is criminal.
Live TV. Yes. I'm about to switch to Sling.
Bye.
I know, don't get me wrong. They got some great,
Sling
channels.
Sling is not worth it. I tried Sling.
They ain't slinging them channels out, baby.
Sling is horrible.
I think you get 40 channels for like $39.99, and that's like.
Oh, and then you get the SPL channel.
Hey, look, and you get those at your favorite Marriott.
Yeah. This is like literally hotel channels now. You better you
better
look getting you a fire
hotel channels. Black, you ain't no good. He said that's your favorite Marriott.
Look, the Red Roof Inn.
I'm trying to say,
bro, why did we go through Florence a couple weeks ago? And the Red Roof Inn by the mall, the Red Roof Inn, a room was $162 a night.
Say what?
Sir, at the Red Roof Inn,
sir.
TJ,
you see why I'm going away?
Sir, bring me that check.
TJ, what's the Red Roof? What's your favorite name for them places?
Oh, the Snooty Fox.
The Snooty Fox. That is what the Red Roof is.
Shout out to my sister telling me what that was.
Look, a mosey wozy. That is what a Red Roof Inn room is. $162 a night.
That's where you meet Tina the crackhead at. Okay.
Yeah.
Crackhead at the Snooty Fox.
Hey, crackhead Brittany.
Snooty.
Crackhead Ashley.
Fox.
I'm trying to say.
I wonder if that's where Marty Jannetty goes now.
And on that note, this has been a great episode of Beyond the Bell podcast. So long, folks. Sir, you got a Black.
Tell him one day.
You got to do better.
You got to.
Oh, we still got to talk about our favorite state.
Wrong,
we still got to talk about our favorite state.
No, we don't, because that Colorado stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and say this though. The Dallas Cowboys. And this goes, and I had to take my glasses off. This goes to you, ridiculous front runner bandwagon Cowboy fans that make it hard out here for me. It is these games that piss me off about being a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
the games that we should have won, but we're too busy looking past the opponent. I don't care about the first 2 weeks. I don't care about the point. Oh, we blew out the Giants. Okay, and it's the Giants.
Right now, the Giants not looking too giantly good.
We beat the New York. We beat the New York midgets. I don't care about the first 2 weeks, but this game was winnable. And of course, y'all favorite quarterback, Whack Trash Scott, threw the game away. As usual.
Best quarterback in the NFL.
The running game got
What did he say at the post game? I got to do better. Did he say that?
I got to do better.
Really, bro?
I've been saying that for years now.
You got to do something. You ain't gonna have no job.
You're not a real Cowboy fan because you don't talk good about our team. There's nothing good to talk about.
No, you are a real Cowboy fan.
We lost to Josh. We lost to Josh Dobbs.
A guy named Dobbs. Rhymes with Hobbs.
And I'm in mine.
That's my fault. That's my fault, except for the first week of the season when he played Washington. Now he wasn't my fault.
But it ain't no different. We got Mollywop too.
Oh, we got Mollywop.
No, y'all didn't get First of all,
but nobody gets Mollywop like
y'all didn't get Mollywop. No, nobody got Mollywopped.
Hey, look, real talk. When I was watching the Miami Denver game, I was doing this.
Yeah.
Look, and Denver did this. Your opponent has left the game.
Yeah.
Look, it was like the game.
You got a 70-piece dropped on your dome.
Look, and
listen, there's some NBA teams that don't even score 70 points in a half, and y'all got 70 points put on y'all noggin. That is.
And still 8 minutes
blasphemy.
left in the game.
It's blasphemy.
There was 8 minutes still in the game when they had 70.
Look, and then the Dolphins fans are chanting 3 more points so they can break the record. Like, come on.
Why? Because they were on the weed.
Hey, did y'all see that meme when they said that the Dolphins coach was in the stands?
Yeah, I saw that. Was that real?
So I'm honest. I've seen people on X say they saw him in the stands.
I pray not.
I'm not sure.
I pray not.
It looked real.
If he was, that's hella disrespectful.
Because it was just like, hey, who on your fantasy team? I'm gonna make sure they get a touchdown.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna break it down real quick. I got 2 things for me, and then I'm done, and I'm gonna let y'all have it because thinking about the Cowboys and pissed me off for the night. Number 1, I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my best men in the wedding, JaMychal Harris. He made a very valid point. Listening to an interview from Kevin Nash stated that X-Pac is basically Kenny Omega. He can have a great match with anybody that has a heartbeat. And I went back and watched 4 or 5 X-Pac matches.
Yeah.
That man did not miss in the 90s.
No.
Or the early 2000s.
No.
I did not put enough respect on the 1, 2, 3 Kid, 6, or X-Pac.
So and don't forget the Lightning Kid.
Lightning Kid. Sorry. I want to give a shout out to my boy for making me kind of wake up and remember, because I'm not gonna lie, the height of X-Pac for me was the tag team with Kane. Like, that was when I cared about X-Pac the most.
When he had the red
entire career, yeah, the weird DX stuff and the sagat, like that was the most I ever cared about. But going back and looking at his catalog of matches, he was like your Chad Gable, or not, and not in terms of the technical skills, but if you wanted to put someone in the ring to see if they were ready for the next step, that's why Jericho got in there with X-Pac so early. They tested him. Triple H was in there with Pac early. D-Lo. X-Pac was the guy they put in the ring to see if you were ready for your push. So I want to give a special shout out to X-Pac. Sean Waltman, if you listen to this episode one day,
sir.
We definitely give you a salute and we give you your flowers. Last week, we asked the question, was AJ Styles a WWE guy or a TNA Impact guy? And the general consensus was WWE. This week, got another one.
Uh-oh.
Is Kurt Angle a WWE guy?
TNA.
Or a TNA guy?
TNA.
Go ahead and explain yourself, Trippy. While I get my answer together.
I don't want it to come off.
I don't
want it to come off like his WWE career didn't mean nothing, because it did, because he grew up through that system.
Yeah.
Like before he even signed, when he finished the Olympics and everything, and they were talking about bringing him in, he still waited 2 years to come on.
Yeah.
So the elevation of growth from Kurt with hair to Kurt coming out his first initial time, getting the crowd interaction that was just natural, and him just going with it, and Vince just telling him like, eat that shit up, and just evolving. Like he had some stellar matches in WWE, some great matches that are in my top 10. But I think through trauma brings out of a lot of a man, and it can look like it's you, even though you're in your worst, you could be at your best. And he was like really at his top, most craziest crap. No disrespect, but Kurt Angle was that guy.
I mean, and listen, Kurt, we know you rock with us after you liked our reel. Shout out to Kurt Angle.
We love you.
Listen, bro, we love you. Yeah, he liked our Kurt Angle reel.
Yeah.
We absolutely mean no disrespect when we say it, but understand something, Mr. Angle. Kurt Angle is held in very much high regard, the highest regard in wrestling circles, sir. We don't mean any disrespect. You have rap songs about that stretch of your life and your career. First of all, the blackout is killing me right now, because I know I know he is like, what are y'all doing? Listen, I'm just saying.
But it's
I'm looking at Saran
but it's true.
I mean, when my man said he was chewing 35 Percocets a day, dog, they don't even give you 35 Percocets to last you a month now, and you were doing that a day.
He thought he had them Flintstones.
But that's the thing, like, and it's not even picking on his downfall. It's like that thing made him do things that were phenomenal. And like, don't get me wrong, and I respect Kurt always, because Kurt gave his body, Kurt gave his mind to the business.
He gave his marriage.
He sacrificed his body. Like, bro, who doing moonsaults off the top of freaking cages
after they tell you not to do it, and he's still gonna do it?
Bro, they cut your match short, and you still go out there and have a
my man said, yeah, they cut us down to say, we're taking the whole 25.
Hey, look, and then look, and you're not even supposed to do this spot, but you over there, look, and then you missed it a little bit.
You did, but Mr. Anderson said that he didn't even feel that. He said Kurt never touched him during that, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what do you mean? He landed on your face, and Mr. Anderson said he didn't touch me. Like, wow.
Mr. Angle, I appreciate you for everything that you did from the start to the finish. I think your TNA career was like very much in the high regards, because it showed that grit, that hungry. It showed that, look, the main event Mafia is always going to be a time for me, dog. That was a time.
Look, the Angle Alliance, he had a lot. Look, you know, Nash used to kill it.
Look.
All right, two. What you got, bro? Where we at? Where we at?
Oh man, apologies, but I'm gonna say here WWE guy, just because.
Okay.
His TNA Classic run, would not have happened without WWE.
I need a little bit more lab though. I need a little bit more though. Like,
okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit more. The whole reason he had to get on Perks in the first place was because he messed his body all up in WWE.
Yeah. The Shane match. My man said he broke his neck.
Pulled out his drawers and everything and said, "Look at me, I'm messed up."
I think he said he broke his neck like 3 times in 4 years.
He broke his neck 4 times.
4 times, yeah, like 4 times in 5 years or something like that.
And he never
that was
get
before
surgery.
he got to TNA, so he had to be on. He was on them joints before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just.
I think the breaking point was because Vince didn't let him go. I think Vince didn't let him. He asked Vince something. I can't remember because I saw he said something about it. I think
he pulled his jaws down, showed all this stuff, and it was just like, "Yo, bro, all this is messed up. You got to help me." And Vince was like,
"Yeah, sorry.
I mean,
you're a top guy."
That's when he was like, "He got to go." So he went and had that phenomenal run in TNA. I'm not gonna say nothing about that because it was great. I saw a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I had the channel, but the overarching theme that all of us always have, you always come back home.
Always come back home.
But does that make his run better in WWE just because he came back home?
Yes, because you always come back home. He came back
Warrior,
general manager. He came back having some fun skits.
The Shield match.
He has some matches with the Shield and everything. So it's just like his run in TNA may have been better than his run in WWE, but he's a WWE guy.
Okay.
Valid points. I respect that. Thank you for your explanation. And we're going to we're going to
he flexed his whole arm.
Going that way.
Every muscle in that arm was the wrong way. No, it's too late now.
Look, I thought I had it right, and then it went.
I'm saying, go ahead, Black.
So, this is a good one.
I know.
You know me.
That's what we do. We bring the good.
The good.
I was teetering with it. I was kind of going back and forth, and then I had to realize something. There was something that nobody had said on here just yet.
Good.
And I'm gonna say he's a TNA guy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, he did the biggest swerve in getting out of the WWE for one.
Yeah,
the biggest swerve. Hey, Vince, man. You know, I just need some time out, man. You know, I just Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'll be back.
That's why. Hey, let's call him Mr. 90-Day Clause. By the way, we're gonna call him Mr. 90-Day Clause.
True.
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 Mr.
Big
90-Day Clause. Secondly, straight out the rip. You know what I mean? Him and Samoa Joe.
Oh, ate it.
You know what I mean?
Ate it.
He came in there. They had some, great matches. He had great matches with everybody. You know, I think he still says. Did he say that? Like AJ Styles is like one of his, greatest opponents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's big because he didn't mention nobody in WWE.
He did not.
He mentioned AJ Styles. Also.
Well, he did mention Sean. I'm sorry. He did mention Sean.
Okay. Also, let's not forget, while he was in TNA, he was not only the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, he was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
And he almost let us get Brock.
He almost what?
Yeah.
He almost let us get Brock in TNA.
Oh, okay.
But, and then, on top of that, Main Event Mafia. Like 211 said, Main Event Mafia. Like, you had hey, let's put it like this. Before the elite, you had the elite.
Can everybody off up?
You had the who's who. Sting, Hurt, Big Papa Pump, Kevin Nash, Booker T. Oh my God.
The biggest one out of the Main Event Mafia was Scott Steiner calling Samoa Joe fat. It's fat.
Hey, look, he called Samoa Joe fat. He called Bubba Ray Dudley fat. Bully Ray fat.
Badasses.
And then I want to say, he's in the Hall of Fame. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he's in the Hall of Fame. So it's kind of like,
Okay.
He's in the TNA Hall of Fame. So I mean, with that don't get it wrong though. WWE run was fantastic, and yes, he did come back home. But golly, he really put his foot
in TNA.
When he went to Impact.
And Monday nights was ridiculous.
So
it was like WCW and WWF at the time. You had both channels on watching back and forth.
So I struggled with whether I was going to ask this one this early because I feel like this is one of the better ones.
The veterans.
But the one I have after this is just as controversial.
I'm probably gonna say WWE.
With Kurt, TJ made a very valid point. We would not have gotten Perk Angle and like high intensity Kurt Angle without WWE Kurt Angle, and I'm saying that not because of the injuries and the perks and everything. I'm saying because the wrestling machine Kurt Angle, black mouthpiece. They changed his theme so that fans can't sing "You Suck," and it's the remix. It's the
ECW Kurt,
the ECW wrestling machine. Switching from Raw as a heel, going to SmackDown and pulling the turn during the Battle Royal to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, you started the night as a heel with Daivari, and you ended the match as a face and a world champ. But the wrestling, I always think back to Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle because of the ECW match he had against Randy Orton at One Night Stand. Yeah. That was like one of those last matches where I was like, okay, Kurt really is different. The WrestleMania 21 match with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Like, you can't not mention that match in the annals of wrestling history when you're talking about top 25 matches of all time. And for some, that's a top 10, top 5 match. I have no issue. I have no issue with that. No issues with that. You have the Iron Man match on SmackDown against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, the greatest Iron Man match of all time. You have a lot of WWE memories and matches that are held and seen as a standard of all-time greatness. But
there's always a but.
Going to Impact,
change the game.
Him going to Impact did for Impact what, and I don't want to say it on the same scale because, of course, it's a different level of superstar, but the timing was also different. Ratings at that time were starting to dwindle across the board, everything. But him going to Impact did exactly what Hogan did for WCW. You never thought you'd see Kurt Angle going somewhere else. You never thought you would see him delivering the caliber of matches he was while he was there with some of the younger talent. And even some of the dream matches. Him and Sting put on some matches.
Man.
Him and Christian put on some matches. And those were matches in times where we wouldn't have got those in WWE. You know, you never would have gotten the Main Event Mafia in WWE. You wouldn't have they wouldn't have had Kurt. At one time, Kurt held every TNA title at one time while IWGP champion. Every title, the X Division title, both tag titles, and the world title.
He was Kenny Omega before Kenny Omega was.
Kenny Omega. I mean, well, that's Ultimo Dragon, man, if we're going to say that. That J Crown, man, had 9 belts at one time.
9.
Kurt did something that I don't know if we're going to see it ever done again. Kurt went from main event talent to legend outside of WWE. I don't think we'll ever see that again. Like, with Jericho. Jericho was already a legend before he went to AEW.
Yeah.
AEW didn't catapult him there. Looking at guys that are left, Moxley is not. He's a step higher than he was than when he left, but he's not shooting into the stratosphere.
Right.
I don't think we'll ever see someone go from being a main event talent somewhere to becoming a legend in a and you might as well say still a startup company, because at that time when Kurt went, they weren't even 10 years old yet.
No, they weren't.
It was like 2008.
Yeah, 08.
And they really just got to Orlando.
They had really just got, because this wasn't Fox Sports Net Impact. This was Spike TV Impact.
Yeah.
They got the Spike deal because of Kurt being there and had, So as much as it pains me to not say he's a WWE guy, I have to look at the body of work.
They're like Thunder vibes.
I have to look at but I also have to look at the length of time. His Impact career was longer than his WWE career.
That it was
combined.
Huh?
I said combined.
His wrestling.
Yes, combined.
Yeah, his wrestling.
His in-ring career.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
His in-ring career was longer. There's far more accolades.
Right.
It's just he's the reason I asked this question, because he's one of those guys where it's like, when you left, he's like Jade Cargill basically. When he left and he went to Impact, the pomp and circumstance of, because one, we didn't even know he was coming.
Nobody
and then you got the vignette, and then you got the rise up out of the floor with the fireworks, and then you're face to face with Joe on pay-per-view. Like, the level of pomp and circumstance that he received coming into a brand new company, it's unprecedented, but it was warranted. And then he took it and ran with it.
And he allowed the doors to open up for other stars too. Christian was like what he was on the fence.
He was on that fringe. And then not even that, but I remember one of his Impact title reigns only came because when they switched to Destination America, the channel wanted him to be champion. Like, it's
the channel.
You can't come. They told Impact part of the deal is contingent upon Kurt Angle becoming world champ on the debut episode of y'all coming over here. And he won it in the main event. Like, that's major. When the channel says, "Hey, listen, we'll give y'all a deal. We'll give y'all some stuff, but that's got to be a part of the deal." That's a lot.
That's easy. It's like you want him to be what?
Go ahead.
And that reminds me of, like we talked about earlier, when we talked about Jade Cargill and we put it up against Hulk Hogan. His red carpet, his rollout or whatnot going to WCW. I want to put Kurt Angle up there as far as like not knowing that he was coming to when Luger showed up.
When Luger showed up,
that was crazy.
I remember watching that.
Yeah.
Is that Lex Luger?
Yeah.
What is everybody
doing here?
Yeah, we was at school the next morning. Like, did you watch last night? Like,
no, what happened? Yeah. If you didn't watch,
you couldn't talk to us till Thursday. Like, just go away.
Yeah.
But that's like I said, I think that'll be our final thought going forward. Because I got at least 6 or 7 of them. But the next one is just as controversial. When you look at length of time, accolades, drawing power, like, it's just the next 3
I feel like a stone
controversial. The next 3 are controversial, so we'll see. But next week, I
got one. I have one, but I don't know if my one is part of your.
We'll talk off camera and see. We'll talk off camera. Yeah. But man, this was a phenomenal episode, y'all.
It gets better, y'all.
We did it like we always do, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man, say, man, it's about the time to call.
Trigger Trey, go ahead and let them know where to find you at, brother.
You can't find me. Know it now. I'm playing. But yeah, y'all already know what it is. Official OVO Sound _11 on Instagram. Y'all can definitely find me on X. It's Latrell Wade. TikTok is Sharon Knight. And make sure, if y'all haven't already, share, like, subscribe. Definitely hit the BeyondTheBellPodcast.com. Turnbuckle topics are being currently updated as we speak. So y'all make sure y'all bring some traction to the page. Instagram. We're officially on X. So make sure y'all follow X. Let's get this engagement going. We want to be able to make sure we communicate with the fans. TikTok is thriving, looks amazing, and we're definitely got more content coming for y'all. So make sure y'all tap in with me, tap in with my boys, and definitely tap in with Beyond the Bell. Blackout, go ahead, let them know where you at.
So, y'all can find me on Facebook at Blackout Jones. You can also find me on Instagram, Blackout_Jones. If you're on that X, and I don't mean literally on that X, but if you're on that X, I'm there at Joker Driver 514. But I also want to say this. I also want to say, definitely continue to like continue to subscribe, continue to share, but please, please, please comment. Do some comments so we can, you know what I'm saying? So we can not only, answer back, kind of give you, give us your feedback. We can kind of give you, whatever your question is or whatever you're thinking or whatever you're feeling, we can come back and we can kind of, give feedback on whatever that is that, that you're commenting about. Because that definitely does a plus for us, on our channel. Also, hit that like button because that does a lot for us as well. But hey, man, I wouldn't have it any other way with these three brothers, man. I'm really enjoying this right now, man, and it's nothing but sky's the limit, as Biggie would say.
211, what you got? Let them know.
Y'all know where to find me at your local corner store, getting a 6-pack of Steel Reserve for $7.41.
Yeah,
$7.41.
But yeah, you can find me on the Instagram at manofsteel_BTB. I did not just read that off the clicker at the bottom. And I've been meaning to talk about that X because you had told me to put us up there so we could be a part. Don't find me on the X, man. Y'all don't need to know what kind of degenerate I am. I'm finna make another one. Can I make another one?
You might need to.
Yeah.
You might make another one. Make an alter. Yeah, go ahead and give us your alter
X.
Your alter ego.
I'm not even on Facebook. Don't even.
Man, listen. Don't pay that dude no attention. You can find your boy Carlito Cannon at Carlito Cannon on TikTok, at Carlito Cannon on X, at Carlito_Cannon on IG. Make sure you follow Beyond the Bell Podcast on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on X, BTB Icons. Look for Beyond the Bell Podcast on X.
Thanks, Sharon.
At Beyond the Bell Podcast on YouTube, Spotify up, Apple Podcast coming soon. I've been having to work with their engineers because they retract some of the stuff that used to be able to happen, but nah, it's a process trying to get the Apple Pod working for some reason. But we coming on that. Pause.
Yeah.
This guy.
We'll be there soon.
We'll be where soon?
BeyondTheBellPodcast.com. We'll drop the link tree down so you can follow everything. But like my big brother Blackout Jones said, I wouldn't have it any other way with these dudes right here, man. It's the Iconics. It's the Carolina Wrestling Cartel. Dr. Shaw's not here with us right now. A truck struck a generator, not a generator, but a transformer. So they're out of power on his whole side of town. So y'all throw up some prayers for him.
He's blacked out.
Yeah, he's blacked out.
Hey, but I understood that reference.
But I know, right? Like I'm tired of him, bro. I'm
good douche.
Look. I just said I wouldn't have it any other way.
He doing the whole dance, man.
Look, hey, all right, Blackout fall. He ain't gonna be able to get back up.
Blackout, did you get into my steel?
And that's why you got.
Oh, first of all, we don't do that here.
Listen here, man. Don't pay these degenerates no mind.
None.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, throw up a smoke signal, throw up a bat signal, do what you can. But for everybody that's rocking with us, no, don't throw no more hats up in the air because y'all know what time it is. We got to save that because that way when it actually happens, we already know what time it is. But nah, seriously, it's been a journey already, but we just getting started. We gonna continue to bring y'all that heat. We ran a little long tonight,
We've been 10 episodes in.
Look, we 10 in. We've been trying to keep the episodes.
Hey, look, y'all stop that. Jay-Z had to pay Diamond Dallas Page royalties.
Yeah, royalties for that. We've been trying to keep the episodes a little shorter, but tonight was just one of those. We got in the zone, but we hope y'all watch from beginning to end with us and rock with us. And we'll be back next week. Same BTB time, same BTB channel.
You heard?
And we got 2 words for you.
We out.
Follow us.
Oh, I don't know where y'all was going.
I tried to see. You see, I tried to get him before because I didn't know where he was going.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I had to make sure.
Deuces, ooses.
No, leave that where that's at. Just.
Good night, everybody.
There you go. Wait.